Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about what J.J. McCarthy had to say on his play over the last couple of weeks. Apparently, some changes were made to his throwing mechanics. We'll highlight that. Then also on the second half of today's show, we actually have a bunch of positive injury news for the Minnesota Vikings and that five-man offensive line unit of Darrisaw, Jackson, Kelly, Fries, and O'Neal. They have a good chance to play this weekend in Lambeau Field. But if you guys are excited to watch J.J. McCarthy play some football this weekend, hit me with those nines down below in the comment section. I can't wait. Even though the Vikings are 4-6, I am so excited for every single chance to watch a young quarterback develop, and I hope you guys are as well. So if you guys are fired up to watch J.J. McCarthy take the field against the Green Bay Packers, hit me with those nines down below. All right, so there's no doubt J.J.'s been struggling over the last couple of weeks, and he has been getting peppered with questions on his throwing mechanics, his struggles, and I have appreciated some of his answers. So let's start out with this one. JJ saying, I feel like for me, I kind of make the analogy of a cork about to come off a bottle. Just understanding that it's 1 to 3 little things that I need to change about my game that is going to make a huge difference in the outcome of every single drive in the game. I feel like it's really close, but it all comes down to consistency of the fundamentals and the little details. And I will say, I really hope it clicks for JJ soon because I feel like he's right there because he has shown the flashes making these big-time throws over and over again and also in big-time situations. But we have seen him struggle, be very inconsistent throwing the football. It feels like he is sped up. And the question will become, how patient will the Vikings front office be? How patient will the coaching staff be? Because obviously they invested almost $350 million into this roster this season, not getting the results they want. And a big reason of that is because the young quarterback struggling. So they're kind of fighting two battles. You want to be patient with J.J. McCarthy, you want to let him develop, but you're probably going to lose some games that you should be winning along the way. But you also spent all this money on a very, very good roster. You have a good coaching staff. So they're kind of in this weird in-between spot. So it's just going to come down to how patient will this Vikings brass be with J.J. But I am so excited to share with you guys about this. Diana Rossini said this on a podcast recently saying, this is going to get a headline. Yep. You got what you wanted, Diana. Saying, I think the question we got to start asking is J.J. McCarthy going to be a Minnesota Vikings quarterback next season? Is he going to be the QB1? Is he going to be on the roster next season? And I wonder this. Did somebody in the Vikings building hurt Diana Rossini? Did she get a bad source? Did somebody break her heart back in the day? I don't know what it is. Any chance she has to kind of take a dunk on the Vikings, to kind of get Vikings fans going, she'll take it. I respect the game, Diana, but also we're 5 games into this. Come on, can we just be a little patient here? I don't know if any NFL reporter has ever put out something saying after 5 games, oh, is this team going to potentially move off that quarterback after just 5 games into his NFL career? It's just ludicrous. And, I truly believe this, especially with the prospect JJ is. The Vikings have to give him until at least next Thanksgiving, because that would be at least a big enough sample size for me where if we're not seeing consistent growth by that point, then you can move on. But, who says JJ, even if he is terrible, kind of more of the same that he's been throughout the rest of the season, who says he can't get in the lab this offseason, fix those throwing mechanics, work on his game, and then he hits next year, and it's okay, then we're seeing huge strides. So just be patient. I think no matter what, the Vikings brass should give this kid until next Thanksgiving. But JJ, he also was talking about this with his struggles, and he said, coming in here to the Vikings organization, I was taught how to play quarterback in a very different way. Obviously, that makes sense when you're going from Jim Harbaugh in college to Kevin O'Connell in the NFL, but then somebody asked him, how hard is it to rewire his mechanics? And he says it's really hard. You're rewiring neurological pathways, and that's not something that happens overnight. Now, I will say, I think this is a positive for Vikings fans if we're thinking bigger picture here, but short term, it kind of feels like JJ is in his head a little bit, where he doesn't feel the most confident out there, where maybe he's giving these answers to kind of preach patience to the fans, where it's hey, I'm trying to rework everything. I'm trying to rewire how I've been throwing the football since I've been a young kid to fit this Kevin O'Connell offense, where if he was playing well right now, even if he was rewiring all of his throwing mechanics, I don't think he would be saying this whatsoever. So I wonder if he's a little bit in his head, trying to almost give himself an excuse before he goes out to this Sunday, and he just needs his swagger back. I think it would take one game for JJ to really get this snowball rolling. And, it could happen this weekend against the Green Bay Packers, because even that Lions game, he was shaky throughout. He had a great opening drive. He had a great second drive. He had a great game-winning drive. But in that middle chunk of the game, he left a lot of meat on the bone. So if he can just have a full 4 quarters, if JJ could go out there this weekend and beat a really good Packers defense, puts up like 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, I think that could be really the type of game for this Vikings team where I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, they can actually go on a run. Because if he starts balling out, this offense starts clicking with how good the defense has been over the last 3 weeks. If we get a masterclass J.J. McCarthy performance this weekend, I'm probably going to be unbearable, and I'm going to probably saying the Vikings are going to make the playoffs. So just fair warning here for all the people that watch the show. But if you guys could hit that subscribe button today, we are in our Week 12 subscriber battle against the Packers report, and we're doing a great job right now. So shout out to all of you guys. We have more than a 50 subscriber lead here. So if you guys want to help us increase this lead, hit that subscribe button today. We will be going live for the Packers game this weekend an hour before kickoff. So hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Now, I do want to give a massive, massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Harry's. Here's an example of a brand new razor they have. But for a limited time, our listeners here at Vikings Now by Chat Sports can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. Now, I've used other razors in the past, but none of them compare to Harry's. And my old razor, it got way too dull, way too fast. It started to irritate my neck here and there, and I just wasn't enjoying the experience. And they also costed way too much. Sometimes it was $30 for 8 refills, and that's just a total scam, but that's not the case at Harry's. And I was completely blown away my first time shaving with Harry's Plus, as it has an advanced pivoting system that reaches every corner of your face, a refined blade tech for a closer, smoother shave, and a weighted metal handle for added control and comfort. Fun fact, this is actually Harry's heaviest handle ever. So for a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. The set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 refined 5-blade cartridge, and a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect all your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/chat to claim this offer. And after you purchase, that's where you heard about them, please support our show and tell them we sent you here at Vikings Now by Chat Sports. All right, let's talk about the latest injury news here with the Vikings. It's a positive one. Vikings getting very healthy in a very important time of the year. And here was the injury report from Wednesday. Christian Darrisaw, always in full. He'll always pop up on the injury report. I would put every cent in my bank account that Christian Darrisaw will be a DNP on Thursday, but he'll be good to go. Will Fry's only concern here, DNP with the knee, but KOC didn't seem too concerned about it, so I'm still going to expect Will Fry's. Maybe he's limited Thursday, limited Friday, questionable for the game, but he should be able to go. Jonathan Greenard, I'm still going to put my money that he doesn't play in this one, which is unfortunate because obviously one of the best players on this football team. But Aaron Jones, he'll be good. And then the big kicker right there, Ryan Kelly, practiced in full yesterday, so we should expect him out there this Sunday versus the Packers. And, the Vikings are truly getting healthy when it matters the most right now. Because even though it's this team's 4-6, it's not looking good. Offense is struggling. There's a chance this weekend that we have that full 5-man offensive line unit that we have been dying to see since training camp. Christian Darrisaw, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, Brian O'Neill. It is going to be cinema when the Vikings get all 5 of these guys back, and there's a good chance that happens this weekend in Lambeau Field against the Packers. But I truly believe this. I think the Vikings can still go on a run. I know you're 4-6. I know if it is a tough time to have this take. But again, if J.J. McCarthy can just get his groove back, if he can get his confidence going, this team can be incredibly, incredibly dangerous because this defense, I still believe, even though they don't have the statistical numbers to back this up, I still think they're a top 7 unit in the league. When they're humming, when they're healthy with Van Ginkel, Cashman, all those guys in the lineup, this defense can be very, very dynamic. And then plus offensively, if you just start getting some top 12 quarterback play in the league, this is the top 10 offense in the league. I think KOC is still a great head coach. I think, especially with the Vikings being able to run the ball a little better this year, if JJ can just get it together, man, this team can be dangerous. You got some tough games coming up, but if you could somehow shock the world, win the next 2 games, I know I keep saying it, but once it clicks, if you can get back to 6-6, you got 3 winnable games against NFC East teams. Who knows? Maybe the Vikings will go on a 5-game winning streak, head into that Christmas game against the Lions, and show Diana Rossini what's up, since she'll be in the stadium. But this weekend, nobody's giving the Vikings a chance, very similar to when they played the Detroit Lions a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to guarantee a Vikings win this weekend. This is a typical Vikings get right spot. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to quiet the noise. I think the Vikings are going to win this game 30-20 in pretty dominating fashion. I actually don't think it's going to be a game at all. I think the Vikings are going to blow them out So if you guys are gamblers, go put some money on the Vikes this weekend. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, we appreciate you. Just hit me with those goals down below. We'll get on out of here. Let's go Vikes.